Yo, what's the dealio, man? Listen, you already know I got a straight banger for you today, all right? So look, in this video, what we're gonna talk about is gonna be liquidity sweeps and also volume, all right? This has been something that I've been seeing this week in the market. So what do I wanna do? I wanna bring it to you and put you guys on game, all right? I haven't talked about liquidity sweeps yet, but you guys have heard me talk about areas of liquidity, right? This is something that I say every single day, all right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna dive into it and we're gonna help you level up your understanding and your trading game, all right? Now, let me say this. Nothing that I say in this video is financial advice, okay? Nothing is financial advice. If you want financial advice, go talk to a licensed financial advisor, y'all, all right? And also be sure to like this video, okay? Like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. All right, so liquidity sweeps, liquidity and volume, okay? So let me break this down for you guys first, okay? What's also correlated with liquidity is also your contracts, your in the money and your out of the money contracts, all right? So I want you to think about this. When you see a stock and you want to trade it and it has, a strike price, we got out of the money, we got in the money. Sometimes certain contracts have a wider spread, right? The bid and the ask. Okay, so what this means is that contract has less liquidity, okay? There's less money flowing in that contract. You see what I'm saying? So what happens is it doesn't have a lot of liquidity. So a lot of people get scared of that. And then, so let's say you want to get an Apple. And Apple is at $200, right? And you know it's going to 210, right? If you get the 210 strike price, the contract might have a little bit wider spread, right? And it might start going up and it might not really be going up crazy yet. That's because there's not a lot of liquidity there yet, okay? So what is the liquidity? The liquidity is the amount of money going to an area, all right? And when I break this stuff down, I'm breaking it down from how I understand it. Okay, I'm not focusing on the textbook definition. This is how I'm so effective with teaching you because I talk to you guys in regular terms. Okay, I don't like all the overcomplicated stuff. So liquidity is saying, okay, how much money is going in a certain area? Okay, so now Apple starts to go up. Now it's at 205. Your contract is up crazy. Why? Because it has more liquidity. The spreads are going to start getting tighter if they were wide. You see what I'm saying? So when you have certain stocks that always have wide spreads, they're not really getting traded as much. You see what I'm saying? That's why the stocks that get traded a lot always have tighter spreads because they have more liquidity because more money is flowing to those option contracts on a consistent basis. All right? So that's the first part when we're talking about liquidity, okay? That's just about the contracts. Now, when we understand trading in the charts and stuff like that, now, what is a liquidity sweep, okay? Liquidity sweep, golden sweep, liquidity grab, right? I used to hear these things and I didn't fully understand it, all right? So it's important and it's imperative for you to understand when we're talking about the stock market, stock prices a lot of times go somewhere so that they can go somewhere else. Okay? Understand what I'm saying? Stock prices are going somewhere just so that they can go somewhere else. And it's a mind-boggling concept, okay? Once I started to understand liquidity and I started really studying it, I said, oh, okay, right? This makes sense. So instead of just getting in at support and that's it, right? And getting into puts. If there's an area of liquidity at support, I don't need to be getting into puts at support, even if it breaks below, because all that's going to happen is going to go down, it's going to get liquidity, and it's going to go up. So what do I mean when I say get liquidity? Okay. So now liquidity sweeps. Okay. I want you to think about a broom and it's sweeping. Okay. Right? You sweeping and you sweeping some stuff. So you have liquidity sweeps. So imagine, and I'm going to show you guys on the charts as well, but imagine that you have a stock and you like, yo, once it gets below $200, I'm about to enter into puts because it's about to go down, okay? What happens is you have to know if there is an area of liquidity at that $200 range. Because if there's an area of liquidity at that $200 range, all those orders are going to get swept and then it's going to go in the opposite direction and you are going to get cooked. Okay? This is why I talk about areas of liquidity every single day. This is why I'm so effective when I'm giving out levels and I'm trading, because I know where my areas of liquidity are. Honestly, I stopped using support and resistance as much as I used to because I started focusing on areas of liquidity and order blocks. That's all I focus on now, right? And some people will say, fair value gaps are dumb. Honestly, I don't care because I have gotten so effective understanding this that I'm very, very, very effective and I'm very good at what I'm doing, right? But it's all because I'm understanding liquidity, okay? So $200, psychological level, okay? So the stock comes down to 198.70, right? On the 30-minute time frame. And it's at 198.70. And you got 10 minutes left on candle, right? What happens? What happens? You entered, now you get cooked, right? What happened? It was a liquidity sweep. There were orders sitting right in that area, right? A whole bunch of money flowed to that area because they said that the institutional buyer said that this is where we want to buy this stock at. See what I'm saying? This is where we want to buy the stock at. And then 2 days later, the stock is at $220. And you over here mad because you got cooked because you didn't understand liquidity, right? And this is why you always want to wait for two things. You want to wait for the closure, and you also want to wait for the closure, and you want to wait for the retest, okay? So if we break below a level, you want to wait for it to close there, and then you want to wait for it to come up, reject, and then come down, right? That is the retest. Otherwise, it could just go right back up. So this is why sometimes you'll see a red candle and it looks like it's coming down, and then the very next candle, it goes right back up, right? There was liquidity sitting right there. And a lot of times it's at either a key level or it's at an area where there's a fair value gap on a buyer's side or a seller's side, depending on what you're looking at. Okay? So I want to make sure that we understand this whole concept of liquidity. Okay? Now, the next thing is we have volume, right? Now, every stock has an average amount of volume that is traded on an everyday basis, right? And you can see that in TradingView, and I'm going to show you guys in TradingView. But if the volume is low, but stocks are going up or they're at all-time highs, I need you to understand that it's only a matter of time until there's a pullback, right? I personally believe that Trump, saved the market from crashing the other day, yesterday. I really do believe that. No, 2 days ago. I really do believe that, right? No, it was yesterday. Reason being is because we were getting ready to go down. We were getting ready to go down. And now, right? And now what happened was it came up. But right now, the market is kind of like coming down a little bit. It's not trying to. It's trying to come down. It wants to. But it's being propped up right now. Okay? Volume is low, right? And I feel like IWM, right? It's at all-time highs. I feel like it came up just so that the sellers can get liquidity, enter in their positions, and then it could drop. Okay? Because the way big institutions trade, they don't get in day trades. They buy at key levels and let it run up or let it go down by $10, $20, $30, and then they collect their profits that way. Right? They're not doing what retail traders are doing in scalp trading. Institutional investors are entering trades at very strong key levels and they're riding that trend, they're riding that wave. All right. So what we're gonna do is I'm going to go to the charts and I'm gonna show you guys some stuff. All right. So right here. All right. So right here, this is IWM. Now, let's look at this real quick. So this week has been very interesting. Okay. It's been very interesting. So boom, boom, boom. All right. So look at this right here. So this candle right here, boom. It's not a good example. That's on the 30-minute. Let's go to the 15. All right. So let me go to the 15. All right. So right here on the 15-minute time frame. If we go to the 15-minute time frame, number one, we see a double top. Okay. We see a double top right here, right? So we have a top right here, and then we have a top right here, right? Now, this was a liquidity grab, okay? They're going to bait you, all right? They're going to bait you. So look, it looks like, so the stock came up, and then it came down. So what do traders usually say? If it breaks above the high of day, take entry, right? A lot of people entered in right here because they thought it was going to break above and it was going to go up. And then what happened? They got the liquidity, entered in puts, and then they rode it to the downside. You see what I'm saying? That is what they did, right? Even right here, it looked like they was going to go down. Boom, popped it back up. But this is showing you that it's a liquidity grab right here, right? That's liquidity, right? This is a liquidity grab. So seller stepped in and then boom, right? It came down and now look at it. It's coming all the way down. So they got to move from 271.60 all the way down to 270.28, right? You see what I'm saying? So this is what I mean when I say liquidity. Now, if we go to let's go to, I want to say TSM. I remember this one on the weekly. All right, on the weekly. Perfect. Look at this. All right. Now look at this. So we have this area, right? So we have this area right here. Y'all see that blue line? Right there. So we had came up, came down, came up, rejected, boom, right? So then we came up here this week and we got a little bit above it, right? We did not close above it. We got a little bit above it. And then what happened? They yanked it down. This was a liquidity sweep, right? To the downside. And then boom, they pushed it down, brought it down to an order block, got some more liquidity on the downside, and then they pushed it up again. Okay, they play wicked games, y'all. All right, they play wicked games. But this is liquidity, okay? Let's go look at Apple. If we look at Apple on the daily, right? Now look at this. Right here, all right? This is another area of liquidity, but to the downside, right? And we got an order block. So it's a lot of sellers in this area. So it was coming up. Most people, entered in the longs if they didn't have Lux Algo. It looked like it was just going up, right? So then they brought it up a little bit, made you think that it was going to go up, right? Brought it down here, made it have a big move this day, right? It was all the way up at 261. Sellers got liquidity, and then what happened? Yanked it down. They even gapped it up right here. Okay, it closed right here. They gapped it up, making you think that it's going to go higher. And then what happened? It came all the way down. All right. So the sellers got liquidity, and then they was able to ride it all the way down from 260 all the way down to 247. Okay. Nah, really 243. All right. That's a $15 move right there. All right. That's liquidity, y'all. Okay. So now where are we at? We're in an order block right here. And that's why you see it starting to come up a little bit. So now they cashed out here. They rinse and repeat. And now they're going to go back to the upside. Okay. Or they might consolidate a little bit, but when it's time, it's time. Okay. So this is why I always say you got to take entry before it's obvious. Because when you get in before it's obvious, you are operating like an institutional buyer or seller or an institutional investor rather than a retail, right? Retail traders enter in after it's obvious. Institutional traders, they get in position and then they capture the moves at key levels. All right. So that's the name of the game, y'all. Okay. So I hope that this video made sense for you guys. I hope that it helped you out. If it did, let me know in the comments, y'all. Okay. Like I always say, make sure you get up out your head, go get into this world because your head is a dangerous place to live. All right. And also remember, y'all, the more you study, the less you worry. All right. Y'all have a great day. I'm going to holler at y'all on tonight's live. All of y'all stay smooth, man. Peace.